Yes, sir.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Would you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Sophia Koval. Sofia. Sofia.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or prescription medication?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Do you suffer from any physical or mental illness?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
How old are you?
Not sure. I'm 14 years old.
How far have you gone in school?
Do you mean my total education?
Yes, ma'am.
Right now, that is 11 plus. Yeah, there is. Right now I'm in 9th grade, so 9 years of school.
Can you read and write the English language?
Yes, sir.
I asked because I have a plea form here written in English. I've got your initials on all the numbered paragraphs on page 1, all the numbered paragraphs on page 2, and I've got a signature where it says defendant's signature. Did you put those there?
That's right. Yes, sir.
That indicates to me that you either read this document or had it read to you and that you understood each of the paragraphs and the entire document. Is that fair?
That's right. Yes, sir.
If you had any questions about this document, did you ask your lawyers?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Did they answer all your questions to your satisfaction?
That's right. Yes, sir.
If you have any questions for me about what this document contains, what the charges are, and the rights you're giving up?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
If at any point in time you do, I need you to speak up and tell me, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Have you had enough time to discuss this case with your attorney or attorneys?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Have you discussed any possible witnesses, motions, or defenses that may be available to you? In other words, how you might fight or contest the case. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Have you talked about the difference between taking a plea versus going to trial?
That's right. Yes, sir.
The benefits of taking a plea versus the benefits of going to trial?
That's right. Yes, sir.
The drawbacks of taking a plea versus the drawbacks of going to trial?
That's right. Yes, sir.
In all your conversations with your attorneys, is there anything you've asked them to do that you think they have not done?
That's right. Yes, sir.
We're fairly early on in this process. You understand that you could give your attorneys more time to look into things and explore things and give them more time to research things, take more depositions, file motions. You could give them time to do that. And I would never hold that against you. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
But it's my understanding you want to give up all those rights and you want to go forward with the change of plea today. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by going forward with this change of plea today, you are giving up certain constitutional rights?
That's right. Yes, sir.
You are giving up the right to plead not guilty and have a trial. A trial would require members of our community to be called to sit as jurors, and the state would have to prove the case of that jury beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
They do that by calling witnesses and presenting evidence. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Your attorneys would have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, examine the state's evidence, make arguments, motions, and objections on your behalf. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Do you understand that the state cannot call you as a witness because you have the right to remain silent?
That's right. Yes, sir.
You understand that your attorney would have the right to call witnesses on your behalf, present a defense, and make an argument based on that defense?
That's right. Yes, sir.
And if you wanted to participate and testify in the trial, you can do so. The state can't make you, but nobody can take that right away from you. Do you understand that?
That's right. Yes, sir.
But you're giving up all these rights by taking a plea today because we would not have a trial. Is that what you want to do?
That's that. Yes, sir.
All right, now we've talked about taking a plea today, but we haven't talked about what you're charged with and what you're pleading to. Do you understand what you're charged with?
That's that. Yes, sir.
You are charged with 1 count of manslaughter. It is a second-degree felony. It is punishable by up to 15 years Florida State Prison. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
According to the criminal punishment code score sheet I have here in front of me, you score 111 months at the bottom of the guidelines. That's just under 10 years in prison at the bottom. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Your attorneys have negotiated on your behalf that you would be adjudicated guilty of this charge and you would be sentenced to juvenile sanctions, where you would be committed to a maximum risk program, followed by a conditional release, not to terminate without a hearing. For how long? You have to have terms and conditions.
Till the age of 21.
And that would be in place until you turn 21. Do you understand that? How long is she in a maximum risk program?
That could be up to 3
Yes,
years.
sir.
So
It would be determined by hearing. And Judge, I'm sorry, and a correction is she would be adjudicated delinquent, not guilty.
The program is up to 36 months, Your Honor.
sorry, it's been a long time since I've seen a juvenile.
Yes, sir. The length of stay is determined by the Department of Juvenile Justice and Ms. Koval's performance in the program. So they will then recommend when she would be released to Your Honor.
Ms. Koval, do you understand that? That you could be in this program for up to 3 years until juvenile justice determines that you have satisfied their requirements.
Yes, sir.
Followed by that, you would be on what's called conditional release. And you would be on that version of supervision until the court orders that you be removed from that or you turn 21. You understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
You understand what the consequences of if you violate the terms and conditions of this agreement? Meaning if you got arrested for other crimes or you didn't follow the program's requirements, do you understand what could happen to you?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Do you understand that one of the consequences of that, if you were to violate in certain ways, that you could be resentenced as an adult?
That's that. Yes, sir.
And if you are sentenced as an adult, the sentencing guidelines come back into play, 111 months at the bottom, up to the 15 years Florida State Prison. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
And you want to take this plea because you believe it's in your best interest?
That's that. Yes, sir.
And you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about this?
That's that. Yes, sir.
And as we discussed previously, you want to give up your right to go to trial because you want to take this plea.
That's that. Yes, sir.
You understand that by giving up the right to go to trial, you're also giving up the right to appeal anything that would have happened in the trial. So any sentence, judgment, ruling, mistake I may make, you're giving up the right to challenge to a higher court. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen, you are subject to deportation under the laws of the Department of Homeland Security?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Do you understand if the offense to which you are pleading is sexually violent or sexually motivated in nature, or you've ever previously been convicted of such an offense? This plea will subject you to what's known as the Jimmy Rice Act, which would allow you to be involuntarily committed at the conclusion of your sentence. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
And if the case involves drugs, you're going to lose any state issued license, including a driver's license, for up to 1 year. Do you understand that?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Understanding all the rights you're giving up, do you still wish to go forward with this change of plea today?
That's that. Yes, sir.
Either attorney aware of any DNA that is tested in this case would exonerate Ms. Koval.
No, Your Honor.
No, sir.
I'll incorporate reference to signed DNA agreement. Please hear a factual basis.
On May 23rd, 2024, Sophia Koval did beat Yevhenia Koval about her head and body, resulting in multiple injuries. And during that beating episode, Sophia Koval did cause Yevhenia Koval to suffer blunt trauma to her head, resulting in her death.
Based on that recitation, the court find a factual basis to go forward with the negotiated change of plea. Are you waiving a PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
Koval, to the state's now asking to sentence her on the juvenile sanctions.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Koval, on case number 24-01-0822 CF&A. You have the right to plead not guilty and go to trial like we've talked about. Plead guilty where you say you did it, or you can plead no contest. No contest is you're not saying you did it, you're not saying you didn't do it, you're just saying, Judge, I'm willing to take this punishment in order to move on with my life. How do you wish to plead?
No content.
Agreement of the parties, court will accept and plea of no contest. I find you to be alert, intelligent, to understand the nature of the charges and consequences entering into your plea today. I find you have made an informed decision with the advice of counsel and that you are waiving the constitutional rights that we have discussed. Ms. Koval, before we go on to anything else, do you have any questions, any concerns, or anything you don't understand about what has happened?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Before a court closes sentence, state wish to call any witnesses or present anyone.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Koval, Vladimir Koval.
Come on up, sir. You're gonna stand right over here to the right of the prosecutor, okay? Are you calling him as a witness or is he just making a statement?
He's just making a statement, Your Honor. He'd like an opportunity to speak on the record.
No problem. Mr. Koval, what I'm gonna ask you to do. I know in a lot of courtrooms and a lot of places, people feel the need to turn and talk to other people. Everything you say should be directed at me, towards me, and to me, not to anybody else in the courtroom. Does that make sense?
Yes,
All right. I'm gonna assume that's a picture of your mom.
correct.
What would you like to tell us?
First of all, I wanna use this opportunity to give thanks to my family, my friends, community, who helped me in that difficult time to handle the murder of my mother, by my daughter. It's a terrible, unexpected event. Broke our soul, our feeling. We lose peace. We lost our relationship. And here today, I to testify that hope that the judgment will give a chance to my daughter to assess, realize our mistake, and correct our future life. I appreciate the opportunity. And to begin, I would like to, in good memory of my mother, I would like to speak character, what she was, and there's a moment when she passed away. So, my mother born in 1944 in France during the German occupation, and after war in 47, our family decided to move back to homeland, Ukraine, in Western Ukraine, where they start new life. And so it was a difficult time after war, disaster, starvation, and so on. So basically, she see all difficulty of this existing under Communist Party, under that dictatorship. Being so, she self-educated. She been teacher and educator in a kindergarten all her life till she retired. She loved kids. She loved people. She served community, church. She been involved in our family a lot. She was soul. Our family, my father was protector of our peace, dignity. We raised with value of Christian faith. We respect life. We respect neighbor people, and appreciation too. I would say having ideal family. We are responsible for life our parents as they get older. So in 2015, my father passed away, and he commanded me and asked to take care of my mother. She came on 2016 to the United States, which she really desired because she had been comfortable in Ukraine, and I couldn't convince her to come here. And I said, listen, come as a tourist for now, and you will see, you decide with me together. She came, she see the palm, she see ocean, and she noted, this is paradise. I want to stay with you, and you take care of me. Since then, she was my full dependent. I took care of her in all ways. In 2002, she been diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer. She suffered surgery. She had colostomy on her stomach, and reverse surgery was back in June when she trying to recover. And for me, it's very painful to remember that moment that I put so much my love and challenges to take care of, because she couldn't take care of herself at all. basically facing the state of death. After first surgery, she got stoppage on her colon. Second time she had second surgery, almost dying. I saved her here in the United States with the help of Memorial Hospital and Hollywood doctors. And it's not first time. She was near death situation about 3-4 times back in Ukraine, right before coming to United States in 2001, 2021. She had a heart attack. Even before she had stroke. And I always was there for her, putting my efforts, putting my time and my love to get her back on her feet. Because I know she was as a sunshine for our community, for our family. We can't afford to lose her. It's difficult now to compare that. Now expecting the grief and tragedy happen after such many numerous challenges in her health. She's been dying in a gruesome way from her own granddaughter, unexpectedly. And that grief will stay with me probably to the end of my life. I definitely cannot reconcile with myself losing the moment to change anything about it. Today, we come into conclusion. Why did it happen? What happened? Many questions exist. Many questions answer. Many questions don't. I appreciate the time that state attorney office gave it to me to think about, and also appreciate defense doing the job. And they do answer many questions to myself and to my sister, which I present also here today. She lives in Australia. But still, anything that I have in mind, this probably will stay with me forever. Speaking about Sophia, born in 2010, I quit my job to go to Ukraine and meet her with my hands holding her together with her mother. We expect her in April 22. She born on May 9, staying in a hospital, expecting our first child. This was joy. We stayed together through baptism, and she was growing on my watch, even remotely. But I did everything I can to travel to Ukraine sometime twice a year, to pay my attention, to be in the time she needed. We have a lot of good moments. She traveled with me 7 countries, 3 continents. The kid have everything. And she proved herself very talented, very joyful, very kind to others. We never had any conflict with her. Till 2022, war started. And I believe it's a big factor that society has affected her mind. When she in school, the kids have to run in the basement during alarm. And then they was discharged from school because it was too dangerous. She stayed at home, homeschool. But that moment wasn't communicated much to defense and to prosecution. When Sophia was at home, she'd been forced, maybe on voluntarily grounds, because it wasn't not school that time. Babysit 1.5 years with my son, infant, which got born on March 3rd, 2022. The mother was following her career opportunity. She didn't want to lose the job, what she said. So she was working full time, leaving kid with infant in a home alone. That definitely affected her childhood. It's a fact how she pursued her happiness being as a child. And I believe the way to get it, she created the drama. And we have an incident which recorded back in Ukraine when she had a complaint about bullying, attempt of rape, forceful drug abuse, or alcohol within the school system. My friend was investigating that incident. Nothing was confirmed with the teacher, with classmates, but we don't want to stress the child in the moment. That was in the period April 2023, April 24th. That incident happened. That her mother even suffered bruises from on daughter. It was, for us, it was definitely big signal how to save the child. I filed paperwork, it's called U4U, for refugee from war from Ukraine. Western Ukraine, you have to understand, it's not Eastern Ukraine, it's a bit different in wartime. Still, psychotic effect, especially on the children, it's great. I use this opportunity to get my daughter with me, and not only daughter. I filed for everybody, for my son, for my spouse, she not spouse, she fiancé, and my, correct, we engaged since 2012. Never married. And that was time when we decided to resolve and reunite our family. Unfortunately, my spouse, future spouse, fiancé, she was rejected from immigration to enter. So we decided, when I met them in Poland, we decided to get married right away in Denmark. We spent 1 month traveling to Europe on the way to file for marriage certificate that I could sponsor her in the future as a spouse with good intent, that not pretension. We want to reunify. We not succeeded that time because entry authorization for Sofia was about to expire. So they get back home to Ukraine, and I really stress this out to Sofia and to Irina Zelenska. It's her last name, mother of Sofia, that we're going along to the United States, and we have to comply with the law expectation in this country. I stressed many times, Sofia, please behave yourself. We're going to work together to get your mother here. It was a beautiful moment. When we arrived, my friends made surprise party. Welcome home sign, a lot of presents, room served and furnished totally with computer, with printer. She got everything to start new life. But being a child, she means one who she dearly love. She means a mother. Without taking into account that it's not a simple thing, just wish my mother being here. There is a lot of bureaucratic and paperwork have to be provided to get her mother together. She's stressed. Even going to the school, even playing with my friends, kids, spending time with me, she always repeats, I want my mother here. Do it. Because it was, in a way, as asking me, then it was hysteria started. And I noticed something going on. She in a plan. I got this stressful situation many numerous times since October. And I communicated twice, 3 times with my fiancé. We have a problem. We have to resolve. How? In school, she was succeeding, even not speaking child, she was getting there. She has A, B, she's talented, she getting. We was proud of her. She got a school problem also. she had an episode of bullying. It's also recorded. Also, we find the excuse for her behavior because of her juvenile age. Hormone imbalance is what we saw. And probably it is, partly. But situation was repeated and repeated again and again. Hysteria, she didn't sleep at night. She screamed, "Mama, mama." And I have no control. I did everything possible. I contact psychiatrist. It was too expensive. Even accepting my insurance, it still was not affordable. So I pressed to get my daughter back to mama, which our mother refused, blaming that I don't want her to come to the United States as excuse. Also bullying me with cheating, be unfaithful. And that is a moment which could also trigger my daughter to unthinkable. We don't know. Everything who could really know is Sophia herself. She had to answer herself. But I know your time is valuable. I'm sorry to take so long.
You take the time you need.
Thank you, the honor. I appreciate it. My heart in pain, I'm between both. My mother passed away. It's no way to return. I'm losing my daughter, and I don't know how our relationship will develop after this. It's hard to forgive, but I want to tell her that we still love her. We're ready to forgive. We work on it. She got to forgive herself. She had to get the chance to rethink. And being now incident as a public, I think that have to be stressed in our community. What we can do that similar incident not happen. It's a burden for community. It's a burden for me, for family. And I appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor, that you're doing best and team both sides on this aisle, trying to resolve it. Whatever outcome is, I accept your judgment. And to say, in the end, I just mentioned, I saw the seal of state attorney saying, we trust, in God we trust. And some words came to me. I want to express that back in the time of Noah, time of great knowledge and great ignorance, there was flood. Noah standing on a boat in a deck, seeing his son overboard drowning. He cried hard to the heaven, saying, "Lord, I see my son drowning. Let me save him." And he heard the voice saying, "Your family, your children on a boat. Those who drowning is not your son. Take care of those who had." I don't present myself as a moral guy, but if I will be on a boat in his shoes, I definitely will reach my hands to my son, to my daughter. Thank you, sir. You want?
Well, you have nothing to thank me for. I didn't do anything. I'm sorry for your losses. You nailed it. There's two. But when you say you're trying to, or you hope to resolve that with your daughter, the negotiated plea is probably the best way for that to go about. This is negotiated between the two parties, and you've, I'm sure, talked to both of them. You understand, sir? You said something. I want to make sure we're on the same page. The outcome here is not really in question. The lawyers have negotiated as to what the sentence is. There's nothing really for me to disagree with or to reject or take. They've come to an agreement. You had enough time to talk to them both about that?
Yes.
And you understand what the agreement is?
Yes, sir.
You have any objection to it?
No objection.
Did you participate in those conversations with them?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I want to make sure part of what I want to make sure is that you've been involved in this conversation and you're aware of what the sentence is going to be, because there's not really a question of what the sentence is here. This isn't a situation where we've gone to trial or someone has pled open to the court. This is negotiated between the parties. And I want to make sure you've been involved in that. And if you have any questions about it, then you have had a time to ask them, or you ask them now.
I don't have a question, Your Honor.
And again, I can say, I'm sorry. I can sympathize with your losses, but there's nothing that's going to repair, take them back, make it better. So I'm sorry. Is there anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor, I would like to also thank Mr. Koval for his patience and understanding during the pendency of this case. As you can tell, he's in the most difficult position, having lost his mother to his own daughter. He's been very patient with both the state and the defense, and just like he said, he's been cooperative with both parties. We've met numerous times and spoken about this case numerous times, and we do appreciate his trust in myself and the senior attorneys in my office in trying to come to a resolution that we hope will ultimately reintegrate Sophia Koval, because as you know, Your Honor, at such a young age as an offender, she will have to be reintegrated back into society, back into a community, even if it is back into Ukraine. And Mr. Koval is fully aware of that, and we're hoping that this resolution will begin the healing process for him. It has been a very difficult, challenging situation.
Thank you. Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Koval, is there anything you would like to say? I think I need to know about. Just want to get off your chest before the court imposes sentence.
No.
This point in time, by agreement of the parties on case number 24-010822 CFNA to the charge of manslaughter. By agreement, I'm going to impose juvenile sanctions. I'm going to adjudicate Ms. Koval delinquent and going to commit her to a maximum risk program for a period of time not to exceed 36 months. By agreement of the parties, she will follow that program upon Department of Juvenile Justice satisfaction. She's completed that program. They will release her to a conditional release program. She may not remove or termination of that conditional release will be terminated from that without a hearing in front of this court or upon her 21st birthday as required by statute. She has to follow all the terms and conditions of both the maximum risk program and the conditional release program as they set forth to her. If you disagree, Ms. Koval, with at any point in time what they tell you to do, then you contact your lawyers and you have a hearing in court about it. But in the meantime, you follow their instructions. Do you understand that?
That's it. Yes, sir.
You understand if you don't follow their instructions, then you will be in violation of this court's order and what could happen to you.
That's it. Yes, sir.
Any questions on your end?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
And in just a moment, they're going to take one set of your fingerprints. You are going to be transferred to a juvenile program. You will meet with a conditional release officer at that program. You will meet with the officials at that program. You will be given all your terms and conditions. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days to appeal the sentence and judgment of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Colin slinked in and slinked out. Did I miss him?
He's coming back.
Where's Miss Michelle?
Sorry.
You may need to sit down with the clerk at some point in time and go over how you're going to do a disposition for him.
Yes, sir.